scary. Russian armed forces. Russian military inventory. How powerful is Russia 2022? Russian armed forces. Russian military inventory in 2022. How powerful will Russia be? Russia is a superpower that supplies the globe with weaponry and military technologies. In this channel, we try to make our videos informative and educational. For unique information, subscribe to this channel. Russian armed forces. The Russian armed forces are the military forces of the Russian Federation. It consists of the ground forces, the Navy and Air Force. The Russian armed forces were founded on May 7, 1992. The President of Russia is the Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. The Russian military is divided into three service branches: the ground forces, Navy, and Air Force. The Russian ground forces are the main branch, responsible for land-based operations. The Russian Navy primarily operates in the maritime environment, while the Russian Air Force is responsible for aerial warfare and support. The armed forces of Russia are divided into the following branches. The Russian ground forces are the mainland warfare branch of the armed forces. The ground forces were formed from parts of the Soviet Army in 1992. They include infantry, armor, artillery, and air defense forces. The Russian Navy is the armed forces' naval combat branch. It encompasses a wide range of ships, submarines, and naval aviation. The Russian Air Force is the armed services aerial warfare component. It consists of fighter jets, bombers, and transport planes. We should talk about it. Russian military inventory. The Russian Ministry of Defense unveiled a new area of weapons at the MAX 2017 air show last week. The show, which is an international exposition for aircraft and defense systems, featured some of the latest and most advanced Russian military hardware. The T-90 is the main combat tank that has been in service since 1993. It is the Russian military's most modern tank and is also employed by the Indian and Iraqi troops. The MiG-29 Contender Fly is one more huge piece of gear. The Syrian military has been utilizing the Russian-made MiG-29 Warrior Fly since the last part of the 1970s. The aerial battle, ground assault, and surveillance are only a portion of the jobs that the stream can do. The plane additionally has a modern radar framework and might be furnished with an assortment of rockets. How powerful is Russia in 2022? The Russian Federation is situated in Eurasia. It has a population of approximately 142 million individuals and involves an area of 17,098,242 square kilometers. It is the world's biggest nation, covering close to 1/8 of the planet's occupied land region. Russia is an established republic, with the president filling in as the head of state and the head of government. The Russian Federation is an individual from the United Nations, the Council of Europe, the Group of 8, the Group of 20, NATO, and World Trade Organization WTO and the Paris Club. In terms of power, by 2022 Russia will have the world's third most powerful military, after the United States and China. Russia's military is undergoing a modernization process, with new weapons systems being introduced and older ones being upgraded. In terms of firepower, Russia is now in second place behind the United States. By 2022, Russia will have the world's third most powerful military after the United States and China. This is likely to be true, as Russia has been investing heavily in its military capabilities in recent years. In particular, it has been focusing on developing new high-tech weapon systems, such as the S-500 air defense system and the Status-6 nuclear torpedo. Come on, let's talk. What does the future hold for Russia? Russia has been through a lot in the past few years. The annexation of Crimea, the Syrian civil war, and allegations of Russian interference in the United States presidential election have all contributed to a decline in Russia's image on the world stage. However, it seems that Russia is starting to address its challenges and rebuild its relationships with other countries. On the off chance that Russia can keep on trending to its difficulties and reinforce its associations with different nations, the future could be brilliant for this rising superpower. Russia has a lot of regular assets, an accomplished populace, and a solid military. Yet again, if Russia can get its economy in the groove again, it very well may be a central part of the world stage. There is no doubt that Russia can be a central part of the world stage once more. Nonetheless, it will initially have to get its economy in the groove again. This won't be simple. However, on the off chance that Russia can succeed, it will be in a vastly improved position to advocate for itself on the worldwide stage. Let's have a discussion, shall we? The role of nuclear weapons in Russian defense strategy. The Russian Federation has the world's largest stockpile of nuclear weapons, with 8,500 warheads as of 2017. This is about a third of the world's total nuclear weapons inventory. Russia's nuclear arsenal is second only to that of the United States. Russia's reliance on nuclear weapons as part of its defense strategy is based on its perception of the United States as a potential adversary. The United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country and is seen by Russia as the most likely to launch the first strike. In the event of a nuclear attack by the United States, Russia would be left with no choice but to launch a retaliatory nuclear strike. The United States is the most probable country to send off a first atomic strike, as per a review by the Russian Academy of Sciences. The review, which was distributed in the diary Вопросы Истории, Problems of History, observed that the United States is almost certain that some other country to send off an atomic assault first. The investigation additionally discovered that Russia is the most probable country to send off a retaliatory atomic strike in case of an atomic assault by the United States. This is because Russia would have no real option except to send off a retaliatory strike to safeguard its public safety. Let's talk about it. Russian military modernization and its implications for NATO. The Russian military has undergone a modernization process in recent years, which has brought about significant changes in the way it operates. This has led to increased tensions between Russia and NATO, with each side accusing the other of violating international law. The Russian military modernization program has been heavily criticized by NATO, which was accused Russia of violating the INF Treaty and of illegally annexing Crimea. Russia has responded by accusing NATO of trying to encircle it and of being a threat to its national security. The Russian Federation has never threatened or attacked any NATO member country, the Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement. NATO's expansion eastward and its military buildup near Russia's borders are the root causes of increased tensions between Russia and NATO, and pose a threat to our national security. We must demand that NATO reverse its course and instead focus on building constructive relationships with Russia. We must insist that NATO change courses and focus on creating positive partnerships with Russia instead. The organization has shown to be a global destabilizer, and it is past time for a change. NATO should strive for peace and collaboration rather than war and division. Let's talk about this. Like, share, and subscribe now.